A dark shape tumbles silently against the star-dusted velvet of space. It's angular, unnatural, and profoundly out of place. This object, captured in a photograph, seems to hang in the void just beyond our world, a silent sentinel in the cold dark. What is it? For some, this is a question with an extraordinary answer. An alien satellite, thousands of years old, watching over humanity. This is the core of the Black Knight satellite mystery, a story that weaves together disparate threads of history technology. Human imagination. It is a tale that asks us to look up at the vast, silent heavens and wonder if, just perhaps, something is looking back at us with an ancient and unknowable intelligence. The story begins not with a single, clear discovery, but with a question that floats on the edge of our perception. Is there more to the cosmos than the rock's gas distant light that our instruments can measure? The Black Knight narrative offers a tantalizing possibility. The origins of the Black Knight story are not found in the gleaming hardware of the space race, but in the faint, ghostly sounds of early radio technology. Long before we sent our first satellite into orbit, scientists were listening to the heavens with massive antennas, hoping to understand the strange noises emanating from the cosmos. In the late 1920s, radio operators, including a Norwegian engineer named Jürgen Hals, reported hearing bizarre echoes. These were signals that seemed to return from space seconds after they were transmitted, a phenomenon known as long-delayed echoes. At the time, no one had a clear explanation for how a radio wave could travel out into space and bounce back after such a long delay. As humanity prepared to take its first steps into space, the story of the unknown satellite gained new momentum. In the 1950s, a decade before the Black Knight name became widely known, newspapers began publishing sensational reports about unidentified objects detected in orbit. One of the most prominent voices was Donald Keyhoe, a retired Marine Corps major and a well-known UFO researcher. In 1954, he claimed that the United States Air Force had detected two objects circling the Earth. Since no nation had yet launched a satellite, Keyhoe concluded that they must be of extraterrestrial origin, natural satellites that had been artificially placed in orbit, perhaps to observe us. These reports were often vague and lacked verifiable sources, but they resonated with a public captivated by the new frontier of space. The Black Knight story might have faded into obscurity if not for a single, powerful piece of visual evidence that emerged decades later. In 1998, during the Space Shuttle Endeavour's STS-88 mission, astronauts captured a series of stunning photographs while constructing the International Space Station. Among these images was one that showed a dark angular object floating above the Earth. It looked nothing like a natural meteoroid, nor did it resemble any known piece of satellite technology. The photographs quickly spread across the nascent internet, shared on forums and websites dedicated to UFOs and unsolved mysteries. While the STS-88 photographs are compelling, NASA and independent space experts offer a far more mundane, yet plausible explanation. The mysterious object, they contend, is not an ancient alien artifact, but a simple piece of space debris. A thermal blanket. During one of the extravehicular activities, or spacewalks, conducted on the mission, it is believed that a thermal blanket designed to protect equipment from the extreme temperatures of space accidentally came loose from the station's connecting module. These blankets are lightweight multi-layered. Section 6. Echoes from a distant past. One of the most fantastic claims associated with the Black Knight satellite is its supposed age, 13,000 years. This specific number did not emerge from any astronomical data. Instead, it was woven into the legend in the 1970s by a Scottish author and astronomer, Duncan Lunan. He was re-examining the long-delayed echo data from the 1920s. He plotted the echo delay times and thought he saw a recognizable shape. However, Duncan Lunan himself later retracted his theory. He acknowledged that his methodology was flawed and that he had misinterpreted the data. He stated that the star map was the result of seeing patterns where none existed and that his conclusions were not scientifically sound. Section 7. The Science of Orbital Debris. The space around our planet is not as empty as it appears. Since the launch of Sputnik 1 in 1957, humanity has sent thousands of rocket satellites and probes into orbit. With every launch, we have left behind a trail of debris. This growing cloud of space junk now numbers in the hundreds of thousands of catalogued objects, with millions more too small to track. These items orbit the Earth at incredibly high speeds. Section 8. The human element, our need for wonder. The persistence of the Black Knight story has less to do with the quality of its evidence and more to do with a deep-seated human need for wonder and mystery. This story thrives at the intersection of hope. We are not alone. An older, wiser intelligence might be watching over us. Section 9. The silence and the stars. The tale of the Black Knight satellite occupies a unique space between documented fact and compelling fiction. On one side, we have a series of explainable events. Each pillar of the legend, when examined closely under the bright light of scientific scrutiny, seems to crumble into something far more ordinary. On the other side, we have the undeniable power of the story itself. It is a narrative of profound mystery. To move forward, we must hold both of these truths in balance. We must embrace the rigorous, evidence-based methods of science. Yet, we should also honor the sense of wonder that drives us to ask these questions in the first place. The universe does not give up its secrets easily.